Now, one of the SABC's key roles as the national public broadcaster is to provide relevant content that is both of interest and accessible to all South Africans. Another equally important role is to obtain content from the local independent television sector. Now, in order to achieve this mandate, the broadcaster puts out briefs in the independent community, inviting them to pitch proposals for television and radio shows, anything from dramas to education. And now we're going to be putting up the information at the bottom of your screen. So if you're interested, this is where you can apply. But hang on, let's talk more about it before you start pitching an idea. It basically is a pitch commissioned by the SABC. Then the independent enters into a contract to produce it. Joining us now in studio to discuss the briefs and what this is all about is the SABC COO, Claudie Motswaneng, and Verona Duart, who is the Group Executive of Television here at the SABC. Good to have both of you. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much, Leanne.
So this is good news. I mean, this is really good news, firstly for content producers out there, independents, as well as the SABC. Claudie, talk to us about this.
Thank you very much, Leanne. It is a very sad day on sports, but we are with the family of Senzo Maiwa. But coming back home here at the SABC, we are very excited and glad that today we'll be releasing RFP book. What informs us is we went to all provinces last year, talked to our stakeholders. People raise concern about local content, and we have promised them that we are going to make sure that we invest more on local content this year. What we have put in place is budget around 621 million. For the first time, we have never done that, sure. But this time from 101 million, we have moved to 621 million, which is a lot of money. Yeah. But what is more important is we want to make sure that we produce more local content. We also want new producers to emerge. We want youth to emerge. We want people with disability to emerge so that they can produce local content. As you know, that local content is lacquer. So this is what we are doing from SABC. We have put a 3-year plan strategy in place. That this is part of making sure that we implement our strategy moving forward.
Okay, so these are big numbers we're talking about. 621 million rands worth of content is what we're looking for. The last time a brief was given, as you mentioned, is 2011, and that was for 131 million. Is this again another indication that the SABC's finances are in a much better state than they have been for these last previous years?
I have been saying this for some times now that SABC financially we are healthy and we have done very well. Remember, previously SABC could not even pay these independent producers. Even you as workers at the SABC, you are not sure about your future, but this time we have put a strategy in place to make sure that SABC financially is sustainable. Remember that we have already paid a government guarantee. We have already paid the net bank loan, as you are aware. But for us, we are excited that really SABC financially we are sustainable. And under this new leadership, there is no way that we will collapse the SABC. Actually, we are doing better than previous years.
Okay. On that good note, and let's get to this brief now, because I'm already reading in the local newspapers how excited some of the content producers are and the production companies. What are we looking for? What are the type of series and programming that the SABC would like?
Well, I think innovation is extremely important. I think over the years we've kind of looked at international fronts and looked at the formats that are there and kind of based our properties on that. What we're looking for as the SABC is something totally new, something fresh, something exciting, something totally South African, which is what makes local lekker in the first place. So for years and years and years, some of our shows have been doing that, but we tend to also base a lot of our stuff on international formats. So we're looking for innovation. We're looking for stories that will inspire the nation. We're looking for stories that will educate young and old. We're looking for all sorts of different people to come through, young and old, people with disabilities, young women, young men, to ensure that we get these true stories coming out from our hearts. Yeah. Stories that are authentic, stories that are real, and stories that make us laugh and cry and look at ourselves and understand who we are, where we're coming from. So I think more and more, rather than looking at the way things used to be,
Yeah.
let's look how we can make things better. But also what we're looking for is how to make these things live on different platforms. So it's not just about television. It's about television, radio, digital, because nowadays TV is everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can watch TV wherever you want, whenever you want. So it's about putting that bit of innovation into it from a technology point of view as well, to ensure that whatever story comes out, that it lives everywhere and is accessible to everybody.
Yeah. So we look at the type of stories that you're looking for, that you are wanting. You were telling me a bit earlier, you're looking for almost, is it 99 different programs? That's how many programs we're looking for?
Sometimes it ends up more. So the briefs, about 99.
About 99.
So sometimes you get propositions that come in and you get really good ones, and there's 2 or 3 that fit in with the kind of brief that we sent out. So the actual programs might be more, or they might be less, depending on how the stories pan out in the end. So it is 99 as at now, but it could be more or less as we go along. Yes.
Time frame? How many years?
It's up to 2016.
Okay, so this is up to 2016.
Yeah, but the deadlines in terms of when we start for the first batch of proposals to come in is in November 2015.
Okay.
November 2014.
So that's now.
That's now.
That's in a couple of days' time.
Yes.
But it'll be the end of November.
It's more towards late November.
Yeah.
And it depends on the genre as well, because some genres are easier to produce than others.
Okay.
So if you're putting a drama proposal together, it takes much longer. So that, I think we've got until end of August next year to put that together.
All right.
So, and that will then be scripted, et cetera, and will go to air probably in 2016-17.
Claudia, I imagine that this also fits in line with this whole vision and this whole dream that by next year, we are going DTT, whether we like it or not. And I imagine this programming is in line with that as well.
It is in line, but what is more important is we want provinces to produce more local content. We want people to produce in their own languages and so on. On radio, I think we are doing well because those radios are located to different provinces, but on television we are not doing well, and I think by putting this strategy in place, we are going to make sure that we give opportunities to all provinces. As you are aware that most of the independent producers, they are in KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape and Gauteng. We want all these provinces to produce local content, and we have talked to our own independent producers that are well known, also to help these others who are emerging from provinces so that they can produce local content.
Yeah, well, I think this is great news. It really is good news. The detail, I know that we've been having it on the screen, the email address commissioning@sabc.co.za.
That's correct.
That's where you email all ideas. Anywhere else where people can read the brief, the actual brief?
The copies of the book will actually be at our provincial offices.
Okay.
So you can get the hard copies from there. Pick them up physically because not everybody, because it's quite a big book.
Yeah.
So in order to download it, you need quite a bit of.
All right, so you go to your
space.
provincial SABC office and you'll be able to get it over there.
Absolutely.
And read the brief. So come to the reception area here, for instance, at the SABC. If you're living in the Joburg area, come down here, whether you're in Cape Town, Durban, or anywhere else in the country. You know there's an SABC office. We are nationwide. We cover the entire country. So go to the office, pick up one of them. And as you heard from our COO, we want the provinces, really specifically the provinces, to submit the works, and we'll be able to see different ideas from there. Great news here at the SABC. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for this. This is a feel-good interview that we've done on a rather sad morning this morning. The COO here at the SABC joining us, Claudia Motswaneng. I'm going to thank you very much as well for taking the time to talk to us. All right, running out of time fast, but you need weather, don't you? You've got to get dressed. Adile.